What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. You guys know that it's very hard when you purposely try not to talk about somebody, but this same person continuously puts herself in the news.
Mama, peace.
What is wrong with you now? Let me talk. As I was saying, who is advising this woman? The Nigerian First Lady. Who is advising her? Is she the one running for the election or her husband? Hey, I'm getting really confused. My people, this week she spoke at, I think, about 2 different rallies. And no offense, I will not be playing her thing on my show, so you understand. Out of respect for the woman, I will not be playing her video. After this episode, though, you guys can go and find them online. Thank you, Koido, for exercising self-control because I know how much you.
He opened 125 Nigerian schools. Hey, what else? What else are you looking for? He has given you all.
Hey! What is your problem? The way you are going, you this boy, you will have to teach me how to insert the videos myself. Teach me how to fish, not giving me fish.
Yes. Teach me how to fish, not giving me fish.
Don't give me fish.
Teach me how to feed myself, not giving me food.
Oh my God! Isn't this the same woman that distributes rice and cooking oil? Even her husband, Mr. President, said he believes in stomach infrastructure. So what is this one? Teach me how to fish. Not really. You know, I love how she would always mix pidgin with English. You know, I do the same on my show, which is why I think that maybe someday I will also become First Lady.
Remember, oh, that day you won't see the name of Okowa. Oh. Wait till you will see na PDP and umbrella. So that day you press your hand.
I'm so sorry. It's just that, how do I tell people that this is the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
That's not all it all.
How? That's not all.
The Nollywood actors, they are not left out.
That's so.
By the way, wait a minute. This smooth talker, is he making fun of the First Lady or he's hailing her?
Hey, our Los Angeles is here.
LA is here. Yes, Nollywood. You do well. And for all the Nollywood celebrities that have been campaigning for President Jonathan, I'm very happy for you guys. I'm not saying that you should not, especially if you are doing it genuinely, not because you got money. But be careful, be very careful. If not, they will start saying things like this about you too.
You see Kate Henshaw here. Now you can see Onyekowenu.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, we should be here.
No.
Kate Henshaw, Onyekowenu. Without good luck, Jonathan, will she be here? No. By the way, did you guys see that tweet by Omotola Jalade? Amo says, see, how are you? How are you, Re? Apparently, they've been disturbing her for her to campaign for them, and she was like, Stop disturbing me. Stop disturbing me now. When you know you are not doing well. If you had done well, you wouldn't even need to pay me for me to do this for you for free. Respect.
My dear me.
That is enough, Janet, my dear me. Let's go to where she talked about women voting for her husband, even if they are in labor.
My dear me, come out. Even though if Bele is disturbing you, tell the baby, wait, let me go and cast my vote. Baby, wait, let me go and do what I can use to feed you after voting. Then I will come and deliver you.
My sisters in the Lord, by the way, in case you are watching, if you are in labor on the day of election, please go to the hospital. After she said that, I said, Holy Ghost fire. The devil said, if you are in labor, my sister, don't say you want to go and cast any vote, so go to the hospital. Do you have the clip of where she said that they should stone anyone that talks about change?
Let us don't listen. Anybody that come and tell you change, stone that person.
I dare yourself.
Lovato. Yes, my people. That is our Mama Peace in action. By the way, she's the one that said we should be calling her Mama Peace because she loves peace. According to her, anyone that preaches change is the slogan of the opposition party. But anybody that says change, people should stone them, She also called the opposition members bus conductors. The only thing that worries me though is how she keeps forgetting the election date.
Come May. Come March.
My favorite part though was when she was rebuking Buhari with the Holy Ghost fire.
That's the way you do before. You don't carry and come again. You carry and come again. You don't go walk. We reject the Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost. Ghost fire! Holy Ghost fire!
God is very patient, eh? Anyway, I already told you guys that I'm not going to play a video of the First Lady. So, my dear me, do well. Make sure that you take out everything that we've said before now. We are just starting the show. What's up, people? It's your girl, Adeola. Speaking of serious issues, are you guys following the PVC drama in Nigeria? Okay, you guys didn't hear this from me, but apparently the Nigerian government doesn't want voters to use the permanent voters card. Yes! You know, I was telling you this some weeks ago that they are planning to get rid of the PVC. You thought I was making it up. You know that the card will be counted by an electronic card reader, and the card reader would make sure that the fingerprint of the voter who brought the voter's card is the same thing as the one on record when the PVC was printed. Here, you understand? So this will prevent fraud. Nobody will be able to use somebody else's card. Also, the card reader is configured to read a card only once. That means that nobody can vote in more than one place. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? That would prevent election rigging, right? That was the plan. No, that was the plan. In fact, this same government had spent at least 50 billion naira, 50 billion getting the thing ready. So what I don't know, and what so many of us don't know, is why suddenly this ruling party and about 14 other parties are saying, no, we don't want electronic voting. They cannot use the card reader to count the vote. Shoo!
It is less than 4 weeks to the rescheduled general elections. Some political parties, including the ruling People's Democratic Party, have expressed their opposition to the use of card readers for the polls. First, it was representatives of 15 political parties who threatened to boycott the elections.
If they want to go ahead with this use of card reader, we, numbering about 15 political parties and presidential candidates, shall boycott this election.
The director of media and publicity for the PDP presidential campaign says the ruling party will resist the use of card readers during the elections.
Our position on the card reader remains that the machine has not been tested in any election, and there are bases for genuine concern over the use of the machine for the first time in a crucial election of this magnitude. We are aware of the plot by the APC, working in cahoots with some strategically placed and retrogressive elements to use the card readers to frustrate accreditation in some parts of the country.
The Independent National Electoral Commission had announced the use of card readers in the forthcoming general elections to reduce electoral fraud.
Look at these people. What in the world is going on? If the PVC has not been tested, then test it now. You have weeks. Test the thing. How is that an excuse to use temporary voters card that can easily facilitate election rigging? Jay, Niger. Other African countries are using this card reader successfully. Why can't we get it together? Countries that are not even as big as Nigeria, they're using this thing successfully. My oga, why now? Why do you keep doing me like this? Hey, you know people are talking, big mouth. They're already talking. They are saying that you are trying to get rid of this PVC because you are bent on rigging this election, Mr. Jono. I told you to always consult me before doing things like this. Suddenly, about 14 parties are now saying we don't want. Did anybody bribe them? Oh, that aside, did you guys see that documentary about Bola Tinubu?
It is best to deconstruct the real man called Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in order to unravel the facade he has been able to successfully build with time using several cronies and accomplices. The story of Bola Tinubu can best suit that of an Arabian Nights tale, a modern-day Ali Baba and 40 thieves.
First of all, I didn't know that we know how to do this kind of investigative journalism on our officials in Nigeria. Hey, I was so impressed. I was really impressed. I said, why hasn't anybody done a documentary like this on President Goodluck Jonathan? Why now? I mean, until today, the man has refused to declare his asset. I really like this documentary because it listed all the properties of Tinubu and the ways that he makes his money, both legal and illegal. So you understand? I was so glad though that finally someone is speaking out about the yahoo of Bola Tinubu. There were some lies in the documentary though, like when they said that Tinubu is a fugitive in the US. I'm like, I believe that Tinubu still comes to the US. The question is, can Alhaji Buruji, can he come to the US? Because he was recently anointed as the PDP Ogun State Senate candidate, even though he has been declared wanted in the US. But why is there not one like this about President Goodluck Jonathan and Mama Peace? By the way, I'm still waiting for a documentary like this about Bukola Saraki of Kwara State as well. Nobody is saying that Tinubu is a saint, but should we expose the atrocities of only a selected few? And don't tell me that Jonathan is not aware that Tinubu is corrupt when they were working together. You want to tell me that Tinubu Tinubu had nothing to do with Jonathan winning the 2011 election. I beg. Jonah was in Lagos recently distributing money, bags of money, to traditional rulers and labor union leaders. We are talking about millions of dollars, not even naira. He gave them dollars. You think we don't know that he's desperate to win in Lagos, that is why he's doing all these things? Not only that, the Meet the President event that was held last Sunday was also held in Lagos. Haba, my dear, why now? Of all the pictures from the event, this is the only one that you can find. You know you like trouble. At least do this if you are putting up my sister's picture. Put up God bless you, my sister, in case you are watching. By the way, before this documentary about Bola Tinubu came out, and I don't know how true this is, but people are saying that something happened, which, let me tell you. Apparently, Babangida invited Bola Tinubu that they should talk before this election. And when Bola Tinubu got to Babangida's place, Mr. President showed up like 5 minutes after. And Babangida told Bola Tinubu that let's just forget about this whole election. Let's push for interim government and, we'll make you the vice president. And Bola Tinubu said, no way, lie, it's not happening. I'm standing for the election. And then Bola Tinubu walked out. And by the way, that story that I just told you is not, you are not hearing it from me, okay? But the funny thing is, neither Babangida nor the Jonathan people or Tinubu has denied the story. So again, the story may not be true, but until they deny the story, that is what I heard. You understand? You guys know that I don't gossip. It was after that they now released this documentary. I'm not saying the documentary is not credible. Anyway, let me talk to my Oga Ojade. Honestly, my Oga, you only have a few days before this election. Instead of focusing on painting your opposition bad, my Oga, don't you think this is the time to focus on the myriad of issues that the common people are facing in Nigeria? They could be running documentaries about your solution to unemployment, my Oga, and people will be like, I'm voting for Jonathan. You understand? Or you can talk about how you solve the issue of insecurity. Now you are tackling Boko Haram. We are very happy. Armed robbers are still on our roads. You understand? People are still being killed in their houses. We still have hire killers. Kidnappers are still thriving. You understand? Or maybe this would have been a good time to focus on the depreciating value of naira. It was 220 something last week. Hey, my Oga, this would be a good time to focus on all these things and how millions of Nigerians are now refugees in neighboring countries. By the way, why can't you address the issue of fuel scarcity? You guys know that we now have fuel scarcity again in Nigeria. Hey! Everybody in the world is enjoying significant drop in the price of fuel all over the world, my people. Now petrol is 120 naira. Petrol was 97 before they reduced it to 87. Now it is 120. 120. The rest of the world is still enjoying low gas price. Some people will buy this petrol at 120 and still vote for the government that made it 120. You see your life, Meanwhile, it's less than $50 per barrel all over the world. If you just focus on that, my Oga, if you're making life easier for the common people will actually vote for you. This strategy is not working for us. You know how I want you to win this election desperately, but what you are doing is not working for us.
No prison. Our husband will not go prison.
Che, you have a problem. Didn't I tell you that we have moved on to serious issues? Is it possible that this woman is actually doing all these things because she's afraid of her husband going to jail because of, herself included, because of all the stuff that they've done? Hey, my dear me, we'll talk after the service. By the way, what's up with Oga Buhari forgetting the name of his party?
Of all progressive confidence.
No. Really, Buhari, really? Why are you doing me like this? How could you forget the name of your party? And the other time, it was the name of your vice presidential candidate. This time, Mana, it is the name of your party. Why are you forgetting all this? Oga Buhari, no, you can't do me like that. You can't do me. You are not even president yet, and you are forgetting these things. Abba, now, get it together. Get it together now. The thing is APC. What is the meaning of APC? Okay, cut this out. Don't embarrass me in front of the world. It is APC. How can you not know what APC stands for? Habana. Not only that, how can you go to London and not come to New York? Hey, look at this man. Didn't anybody tell you that New York is where it is happening? Come to New York, yo. How do you want me to ask my questions? Now make sure you come to New York. Don't do me like that. As I was saying, the day PDP runs a documentary like this on Mr. Jonathan, that is the day that I will take them seriously. Until then, my people, guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Speaking of more important issues, is everyone aware that every year about 36,000 Nigerian women die in pregnancy or during delivery? That is more than 10% of the world's mortality rate. All over the world, about 343,000 women die in pregnancy or childbirth worldwide. 36,000 of these deaths occur in Nigeria every year. This means that every single day in Nigeria, about 100 women die during pregnancy or delivery. Sometimes as many as 140 Nigerian women die in one day. Keep in mind, by the way, that more than 5,500 of these 36,000 deaths occur among teenage mothers. In fact, Jigawa State has the highest mortality rate in all of Nigeria. Not only that, Nigeria has the worst infant mortality rate in all of Africa and the second worst infant mortality rate in the whole world. About 1 million babies die each year all over the world, and of this, 241,000 babies die in Nigeria alone every year. Many deaths occur at home and are therefore unseen and uncounted in official statistics, but more than 241,000 babies die in Nigeria alone. Which is why Nigeria was considered the worst place on earth to be born. Yeah, and you know, there are so many factors to consider. Corruption has affected us in more ways than we would ever think. Little things are affecting us. One of the midwives that was interviewed about this story said something that is very important for us to always remember.
There's no electricity. So, you know, when they bring a labor in the night, what do? We can't just leave the woman to just go like that. Since we have torchlights, I have my other colleague, they will assist.
How do you deliver a baby with flashlight? Flashlight! I can't process this in my mind. Just imagine child delivery in the middle of the night with nothing but torchlight. How do these people live? So when we are shouting that the government needs to fix electricity, it's not just so that we can watch TV or something. It's because we're losing lives every day due to lack of electricity. You know how many babies would have been saved if they have electricity in all these hospitals? And not only that, selective development is killing us. We have doctors and hospitals all over big cities, but we neglect rural areas. Why?
There is dearth of facilities and even the personnel. You see a situation where you have 1,000 doctors in Abuja city alone. And if you go to all the area councils, you may not have up to 2-3 doctors.
Millions of people die because of this. Another thing that we don't talk about much and is very rampant in Nigeria, VVF. And this happens when a mother-to-be has been in labor for way too long. It's very rampant among teenage girls that were married off at tender age. Let's take a look at this.
She would not give us her name, but her condition is shared by thousands of Nigerians. Vesico-vaginal fistula. Still a child and a young bride, she lost her baby a few days ago and now suffers from vesico-vaginal fistula, popularly known as VVF. It is a medical condition which occurs when the blood supply to the tissues of the vagina and the bladder are restricted during prolonged obstructed labor. She walks around with a catheter due to urinary incontinence. It is estimated that about 80,000 new cases are recorded annually in Nigeria. According to Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Health, more than 500,000 women live with VVF, and that is just a conservative estimate and not accounting for the number of infant lives lost. VVF is not getting much airtime, and connections to infant mortality are not widely publicized.
Yeah, keep in mind that there are more than 500,000 women like that. When they walk around with their plastic latrine because, you know, they can't help themselves, they have to go all the time, they have something attached to their private parts. It's very, very sad, and these girls are suffering. And the worst part of it is that after they are diagnosed with VVF, they treat them like outcasts. If you're able, there's this movie by Stephanie Linus called Dry, and this movie is all about how about 2 million Nigerian girls are suffering in silence. If you're able to watch it, please do. It's very, very educative. I would think that these are some of the issues that the Nigerian government will focus on right now. Which brings me to the National Health Insurance Scheme that was launched 16 years ago for public servants as well as workers in the private sector. Where are the billions of naira earmarked for public health care in Nigeria? Who's getting all this money? I'm sure that you're all aware that Thousands of people are detained in hospitals all over Nigeria because they cannot afford their medical treatment. That's why I was asking about the National Healthcare Scheme. Where is all the money going to? Just because they can't afford their medical treatment. And we have so many health management organizations. The problem is, these health management organizations, we call them HMOs, they actually collude with hospitals to treat their clients with cheap drugs. They also mandate hospitals not to treat specific ailments if such treatment would attract high cost. In other words, like this article is saying, if you have malaria fever, for example, the insurance only guarantees you getting cheap drugs, which may only suppress the illness. So that means that you will keep going back to the hospital. Just imagine how ridiculous that is. If you ask me, that is very, very wicked. There are all kinds of stories. Some of these women have been detained for months in the hospital, and for so many of them, it's so unfortunate that it leads to death, such as the case of Mrs. Folake Udiyoyi. I'm very sure that many of you know her story. A mother of 4 who gave birth to her last child at a private hospital in Lagos, and then she had some complications and they had to rush her to Luth, that is Lagos State Teaching Hospital. They did surgery and she was well, she was perfectly fine. During the surgery and all that, the husband had spent about 1 million naira the whole time that they were doing the surgery at Luth. And then after his wife was officially discharged by the hospital, he was issued another bill of about 1.3 million naira. The husband couldn't raise the money, the 1.3 million, but he was able to raise 300,000, and he arranged with the hospital for him to be paying the remaining 1 million naira in installment. But guess what? They still refused to let her go. They insisted that he must have guarantors, and he brought guarantors. They said no, it has to be guarantors from inside the hospital. Just imagine how ridiculous that is. The wife spent 45 days at this hospital, although she had been discharged, but they refused to let her go. And by the way, during these 45 days that she was in the hospital, she developed other complications, and then they refused to treat her because she had not balanced her debt. So they refused to treat her, and they didn't let her go for treatment in other places because she hadn't paid her balance. Imagine that. The husband spent every night of the 45 nights with her in the hospital because the nurses were on strike. There was nobody to care for her. This is a woman that just gave birth and that has had complications and surgeries after giving birth. The husband was the one beside her every day, every night for the 45 nights that she was in the hospital. And guess how painful it is that she died. Upon all that, she died. They were watching her. They let her die in Luth at a government-owned hospital just because she couldn't pay her bill. This is murder. And of course, people protested, but hey, nothing has come out of it. There are all kinds of stories that you guys can read online. Where is the Nigerian government with all this issue going on? Anyway, I don't want to get upset, but Mrs. Folake's case is just one case, and there are so many women that we are not even aware of. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to the Gambia. My people. Che. You know, when somebody is too pompous, it's not good. It can always backfire. It can backfire now. You guys know that a few weeks ago I talked about how Gambia celebrated 50 years of independence. Remember, that was when Mr. President said very soon they will become the richest country on earth.
Is Gambia strong? With the likes of Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, the United States of America, and others in economic development.
Thank you. I do well. Thank you, my brother. Anyway, apparently the newspaper owned by Mr. President in the Gambia published an article during the Independence Day ceremony claiming that American President Barack Obama wrote a personal letter to congratulate His Excellency, that is Yaya Jammeh, kind of like, he couldn't make it, but, he sent his greetings, only for White House this week, only for White House to release a statement that, we did not write any letter to Mr. President. They said, first of all, Barack Obama did not write any greetings to Mr. President. And the letter that was written by White House was written by John Kerry. And that was meant for the people of the Gambia, not for Mr. President. That hurts, man. That hurts. I can't believe Obama would just disassociated himself from Mr. Yaya Jammeh. It's not good now. This is very embarrassing. The moral of the story is that, my people, humble yourself. Always humble, and then you will not be embarrassed like this. This is very embarrassing. They could have just published what was written by the White House instead of adding to it. And then they put a picture of Obama writing something as if Obama actually wrote the letter and took a picture of himself writing the letter. So the US said they are not in any way endorsing a dictator. Ooh, snap. But unlike the US, though, our very own Wizkid, yes, he was invited to perform in the Gambia very recently, and he did so well. Everybody was talking about it on Twitter, on Facebook, until the guy tweeted that the president himself now wants him to come and perform. Immediately that went out. Gambians were expressing their disappointment online that, Wizkid, what is this now? You are indirectly endorsing a dictator. The guy is a dictator now. The guy not even sent them a Wizkid. He went ahead with his performance and he took this picture of himself and Mr. President. Now, what I don't understand is why some Gambians are surprised that Wizkid would perform for Yaya Jammeh. I said, why are you surprised? My people, the guy doesn't say anything about what is going on in his own country, Nigeria. Have you ever heard him say anything? I mean, it's not just him. So many of our celebrities, they don't say anything. They can campaign for Mr. President, but they will not say anything about unemployment, security issues, and all that. I'm not saying he is campaigning for Mr. President. To be fair though, when Chibok girls were kidnapped, Wizkid held a paper saying that bring back our girls. But apart from that, I don't hear him talk about other issues. If he doesn't say anything about that, why do you think he will care about what is happening in the Gambia? I'm not saying that he shouldn't care. I think he should. I think all our celebrities should care about what is happening, especially when we have dictators in power. I'm just saying that if he's not doing it at home, don't be surprised if he's not doing it for your own country. But you guys know I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Zimbabwe, my Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe turned 91. Oh, yes, so. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Ooh, I really wanna live forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. I'm still waiting for my invitation, by the way, Oga Mugabe, because I know that Mugabe would invite me. I can't even imagine that party holding without me being there. Hey, the big day will be celebrated on February 28th, y'all. Wait a minute, my dear. This is March. Did they do the birthday thing? Without me being there? Hey, Che. Mugabe, how could you? You know how we are now. If I was not there, who was there? While I'm waiting for my personal apology from Mugabe, now I remember hearing people talk about the biggest party of the year. I didn't know that it is the one that I missed. Hey, if I remember very well, apparently about 20,000 people were there. 20,000 people. A lot of VIPs from all over the world. And then they made all schools bring delegates, and companies brought delegates, businesses brought delegates. Everybody had to be represented. Some farmers donated 2 elephants. Why now? Why does this creature have to die? Just because somebody turned 91? If we eat all the wildlife, how do we make money from tourism in Zimbabwe? This is a source of income now. Forever young, I wanna be. Stop it, Jare. You don't even know when to be serious. This is a serious issue. Look at this thing. What does it have to die? And 2 buffaloes, just 1 party, my people. Just 1 party. 2 sables, 5 impalas, and a lion. These animals that were donated alone are worth $100,000. But guess how much they spent on the whole birthday celebration? $1.2 million. Hello? They had 8 giant cakes, by the way. I'm talking about big cakes. I mean, some of these cakes were so huge that it took several men just to lift them up. Do you guys see the one that looked like a crocodile, by the way? What in the world? What's in the world? Why would I want to eat that? One pastor and his wife donated a 1955 black vintage car to Mr. President. I said, Chai, there is God. And then Mugabe spoke for about 1 hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, so that is for those of you that are saying that he's not okay, that he's getting old because he tripped. You don't need to show that picture. They already know what I'm talking about. My dear, this is a good one. I didn't see this one before. Anyway, he spoke for 1 hour, 45 minutes. It's a birthday ceremony. If any of you ever invite me to your party, by the way, and you are speaking for 1 hour, forget it. I'll be back at my house. And most of the things that he said had nothing to do with a birthday celebration. Why telling people on your birthday that you will go after white farmers left in Zimbabwe? But I still wasn't pissed off by everything he said until the man said that the former vice president, remember Mujuru now, the one that Grace was picking a fight with? Yes, that's Madam. You know that they got rid of her by fire by force. Yes, so by the way, Grace has started sitting where this woman, the VP, where she normally would sit during the ZANU-PF meetings. People are talking, they are saying, Is Grace the new vice president? Announce to us now, at least make it formal. Let us know, because this woman is acting like the vice president and she's supposed to be first lady. Is she planning on becoming the president after Mugabe? But as I was saying, during the birthday speech, Mugabe said that former VP, Mujuru, was trying to kill him with black magic. I said, really? Why would anybody be after you if they didn't kill you when you were 20, 30, 40? Like Nigerians will say, you think they are after your destiny? You are 91, my brother. But you know what pissed me off was when he said that the woman hired Nigerian witch doctors. I said, no. You jam, man, Rastafarian brother, man. You talk like this, Nigerian witches be after you, man. Yes, indeed, my brother. If Nigerian witch doctor trying to kill you, man, you been dead a long time ago, man. You watch Nollywood? You watch Nollywood movies, man? Interpretation of that is that he should not talk about Nigerian witches. How come this man can easily see what is wrong with everybody else but himself? He blamed America during his speech. He blamed the VP. He blamed his enemies everywhere. And then he blamed Nigerian witches. Last year, there was no money in bank for people to withdraw. Yet, he spent $1 million on a birthday party. What? You and your cronies, by the way, you took all the land in Zimbabwe. You've depleted all the natural resources. When was the last time we heard about diamond in Zimbabwe? Now you're taking over wildlife because that is where money is right now. And you think we don't see how you're evicting families that are living near the wildlife, sending them to a place with no school, no running water, no electricity, no hospital, all because Grace wants to own her own game park? You think we don't know that? No, don't bring out the Rastafarian man side of me, man. No, hundreds of those who came out for your birthday party were stranded. You think we don't know? Many of them were forced to sleep on the bus that brought them. Several of them slept on the pavement of the birthday venue. Some of them slept on grasses. They went to bring these people in buses for all over the country. They said they had to be there so that we will see large crowd. And you didn't arrange for their accommodation? The one that surprised me the most though was the fact that the venue that they used, celebrating $1 million birthday, and the field looks like this. Did you guys see how the field looks? Yeah, isn't that where the riot should have started? All these people that were sitting at the birthday, they should have said, why don't we use this money to fix our country now? Beg. This man is blaming all the witches of the world, but himself. By the way, you guys don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I read my emails, I want to thank everybody that reached out to Victor Adams. That's the husband of Kuburat Yusuf that passed away, the lady with cancer. Thank you so much. I was so touched. He called me that so many of you reached out to him, and he was just amazed that you guys actually care even though Kuburat is gone. I got a phone call from someone telling me that they wanted to help the husband financially, but he's giving them a different account number than the one that was on the screen. So I called him like, hey, what's going on? And he said that when Kuburat died, that they closed this account. So this is the new account number that he gave me. He said this is his direct account number. That one they had opened it to raise money for Kuburat, and when she died, they closed it down. So this is the legitimate account number for Victor Adams if you are interested in helping him out financially. Thank you so much, by the way, everybody that reached out. Also, I got an email from, well, this person's name is Lucky Heme. He's a viewer from Germany. And just to tell you what the email is about, a Kenyan guy by the name William Ngala was missing last week, and everybody was worried about him until I got a message that they found his dead body, and I was just so heartbroken. So I just want to express my sincere condolences to his family. He's from Kenya, William Ngala, 22-year-old. His dead body was found in a pool, and it was so sad. I just want to express my sincere condolences. My first email today is from somebody that described himself as Passenger 2015. Dear Patience Jonathan, how are the goats eating yam in our national ban? What? I write this letter in response to your statement that we are not conductors, so we don't ask for change. I just want to tell you that bus conductors do not ask for change. It's usually the passengers that ask for change. Your husband, Goodluck Jonathan, was chosen as the driver to convey Nigerians to their destination. PDP was appointed the conductor. As passengers, we had paid our bus fare in 2011 using the vote currency, and now we are demanding for our change. We Nigerian masses who live without amenities and who are unemployed and who do not feel secure at home and in public places, we have decided to get our change from the conductor. Even you are changing so many things. You change umbrella to umbrella and you change principal to principal. Even you ought to vote for change. Thanks for gathering your things as you prepare to quit Aso Rock back to Otuoke or Okrika. The choice is yours. Yours sincerely, Passenger 2015. Okay, I don't think I need to comment on that. By the way, that is not coming from me. This was an email that was sent to me for me to read for Mama Patience. My first lady, you know, do well. Don't be upset. Just drink Kool-Aid. I know you are a woman of peace. You know, people will say things like this, eh? Passenger 2015. Che, that is God. That is God in anything that we are doing. Alright, guys, that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.